what's going on, team? It's Ricky with Tech Solutions. If you guys are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe, and I really hope that I earn your thumbs up throughout this video. So how did I know natural gas was going to sell off? I made a video yesterday talking about natural gas being extremely overbought. Today I made a little bit over $5,000 profit. How did I know that? One of the first things that I want to share with you is, if you're asking the question, you should know that no one ever knows what's going to happen tomorrow, a week from now, or a year from now. At the end of the day, what I shared in yesterday's video is super simple, something that everyone can do. I saw an opportunity on natural gas. Natural gas was overbought. It was overextended. But one of the things that I shared in that video is I'm no one to try to trade against an overall direction. When something is bullish, it is very hopeful to try to buy the dip and hope that it pushes up. So what I instead did, and this is just my opinion, is I set my alerts on natural gas if it began to pull back, and I set my alarm for the pre-market session. Like many of you guys know, TD Ameritrade, at least in Arizona, opens up at 6:30. That's when the market opens. I set my alarm for 4 o'clock, 2.5 hours before the market opens, which is when the pre-market session opens up. And all I did was I followed up with an opportunity that I saw value in. I saw that natural gas was trading in between the middle and bottom VWAP, which was showing signs of it being bearish, so it was selling off. So that was in favor of dgaz. I saw an opportunity. I set my alerts, I set my alarm, I woke up, I followed up with it. When the direction was clear, that wasn't until 1 hour after the pre-market session opened, which was right around 5 o'clock or an hour and a half before the market opens, I began to really see natural gas sell off. And if you were part of the Learn Plan Profit group, we had an amazing live trading session today. I was up over $5,000 within the live trading session. It was so much fun. It was much easier today to make money because the overall direction was in my favor. Days like this, for me at least, don't always happen. And it's never easy to make money in the stock market, but it's much easier when you focus on direction. And everything that happened today was all about a setup, meaning that I saw an opportunity, I didn't enter a hopeful trade. All I did was I set my alerts, I set my alarms, I followed up with it, I showed up, and once I saw the opportunity present itself, I simply took advantage of it. How is it that you can do this? You need to take time to inform yourself about how to make sense of when something is overbought or oversold. You can set your alerts when you see an opportunity present itself. You don't have to ask other people where to buy, where to sell, where to cut losses. You need to make sure that it makes sense to you and that the opportunity is worth trading, that the upside outweighs the downside, and that's exactly what I saw with natural gas. It played out according to plan. It doesn't always have to, and that's why risk management is so important. So what we're going to do is, in this video, I'm gonna jump into my screen, I'm gonna break down exactly what happened today, and I hope that this video just gets you one step closer to your overall day trading goals. I really hope that I earn your thumbs up, and I hope that you enjoy. All right, team, so all together on the day on May 6th, again, closed the day a little bit over $5,600 profit. All of my positions closed. I did trade Ugaz a little bit, but overall the direction was very bearish for natural gas, which made it a lot easier to make money off of dgaz. I had a total of 52 orders. For those that love to think that I took 52 day trades, that's not the case, it's orders. One of the things that I really like to do is I actually began trading during the pre-market session. The direction didn't actually become extremely bearish for natural gas until right around 5 o'clock. There was a really nice little push. It got rejected by the middle VWAP, and then natural gas just sold off nonstop. If you're part of the Learn Plan Profit group, you would have caught during the live trading session. I mean, when the market opened at 6:30, we had a little bit of consolidation, but then all this sell-off, I was in dgaz at the time, and it was all caught. And it was such an amazing live stream because, like we've said so many times before, days like these don't always happen. But this is why it's so important to stay patient and truly allow an opportunity to present itself. And some of you guys might be asking, well, how is something selling off in your favor? Well, like you guys know, if you have watched any of my previous videos, when natural gas sells off, dgaz goes up, and that's essentially what happened today. Dgaz is where I made a majority of my money today. almost $5,500. For those that are going to be asking how much money am I trading with, that's of course something that you need to take into consideration. I was trading on average anywhere from around $30,000 up to a $60,000 position size. A majority of the day, I'm not fully invested with $60,000, and that's something that you have to understand. I'll normally have $60,000 until it becomes overbought, and then I'll begin to sell off my shares, which then explains the number number of orders that I have. Altogether, it was really nice to be able to see that there was such a consistent pattern and direction for dgaz. So it made it a lot easier. Not easy, but it made it a lot easier to make money off of dgaz when natural gas was so bearish. And this should not come as a surprise. If you guys tuned on in and watched yesterday's video, one of the first things that I want to share is everyone always has their anticipation or their opinion about what stock is going to go up. And if you guys watched the video that I uploaded yesterday, all I talk about was natural gas and that it was overbought, but to not trade against it. We could see that natural gas was at highs of around 210 to 215. And although it was overbought and the RSI indicated that it was, again, overextended, the MACD was already beginning to consolidate and show signs of a potential resistance. What I did within that video was I wanted to be very open-minded and very neutral. I didn't want to be like, hey, just because natural gas is overbought means that it has to pull back. At the end of the day, nothing has to happen. So that's why last night I set my alerts and I set my alarm for pre-market hours so I can wake up and see and pretty much, test to see if there was a clear direction on natural gas. And then what I began to see was that around that time, natural gas was trading between the middle and bottom VWAP. It was showing signs of it selling off from overall highs. And I was like, hey, there might be something here. There's an opportunity that's presenting itself, especially as natural gas is already so overbought. So does it make sense for all those that are going to be asked, how did I know that dgaz was going to go up? At the end of the day, no one knows anything 100%. All I did was I saw an opportunity because natural gas was overbought. I set my alerts and I set my alarm to wake up and simply follow up with a trade I thought could be worth trading. And guess what? I saw the opportunity. I took advantage of it. And it went according to plan. At the end of the day, it never has to go according to plan, but when it does and the overall direction is in your favor, it's really nice for once in a while to be able to have days like this. This is not an average day for me. On average, I try to aim for about $500 to $1,000 a day. So having a $500 or $600 day is, of course, very great. Now, what is next for natural gas? This is, of course, something that we have to ask ourselves. Did it pull back enough that it could find a support here? One of the things that I've been noticing, I don't know if you guys have noticed for the past month, natural gas has not really made lower lows anymore. One of the things that it's doing is it's almost finding this SMA line as a support, which it used to be a resistance level. So I'm not saying that it can't sell off anymore. All I'm saying is that it could make sense on why natural gas could find a support above the SMA line. So all this means is that I'm not going to hold anything overnight. I don't hold these triple leverage ETFs, but what I can do is if I see an opportunity, and this is something that we can all do for those that see value in it, is when you see an opportunity, it doesn't mean that you have to hope something happens and just enter it and hope for the best. You can set your alerts. You can follow up with it, and if it confirms what it is that you expected, then great. You set yourself up for success. Then you can simply begin to follow up with it and can begin to trade it. So all I'm saying is right now it's oversold enough where it could find a support, but it's also bearish enough that it could continue to sell off. So I set my series of alerts. I'm going to wake up tomorrow again during the pre-market session, and I'm going to see, hey, is natural gas pushing up? Is it pushing down? Is there a clear direction? And do I want to trade it? If so, great. If not, then guess what? The beautiful thing about the stock market is that you get to decide where you put your money and what trades are worth taking advantage of. You don't have to trade every single day. And one of the best things that you can do is wait. So let me know in the comment section what you guys think is going to happen next for natural gas. Do you think that it pulled back enough that it's going to find a support and begin to push up? Or do you think that this is the very beginning of something that it's going to continue to sell off? Tomorrow is the natural gas report. Just another reason on why not to hold it overnight, as that can act as either a positive or negative catalyst 1 hour after the market opens. But again, we're going to be talking about that within the Learn Plan Profit live trading session. If you guys have ever wanted to watch someone day trade live in the stock market, Tomorrow is one of my favorite days to day trade. It's the natural gas report. We're going to be trading live for about an hour to an hour and 20 minutes. So if you want to tune on into that first, you can join our free Facebook group. That's our first link down below. We have over 268,000 members. And then if you want to watch me trade live and you feel like you are ready, click the second link down below, learn a little bit more about the Learn Plan Profit group, and see if working with me on a closer basis and watching me trade live every single day would be something of value for you. But like always, Sam, I hope that it earned your thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. And like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy, team.